They asked us for a toll-free phone number. We ran out real quick and created one. And phone calls started coming in, and people said, we want to buy this computer. We just want to play video games. We don't have to deal with all that tech and everything. So, you know, kind of fast forward 2006, Dell bought us, and then fast forward to today. And today I run Alienware for Dell still, and we still have our core team of Alienwareans. That's a joke if you've seen some of our YouTube videos. That still run the Alienware business. And then Dell has a product line called XPS, just kind of like our most badass computers, notebooks, desktops. And I've been running that for the past couple of years as well. So I gave you a little bit of background on Alienware. To give you a little bit of background on myself and my partners at Alienware. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. Okay, we didn't exactly finish school. We never worked at a PC company before. We were just a bunch of passionate guys that said, hey, people are probably going to want to buy these computers, so let's go build them and let's go figure it out. And that's what we did. We went out, and as we could afford to do so, we started hiring some good people and some not so good people, and we just learned as we went. And the reason I think that's kind of relevant to share with you guys is because we were just hacking it, quite honestly. As the shit came our way, we figured it out. As the challenges came our way, we just figured it out. And as we could find good people, recruit them, hire them, do that, we did the best we possibly could. It's a little different nowadays. Now we've got Dell, which is like a $60 billion company with 100,000 people behind it. And we kind of get to pick and choose the best people in the world to work for us, and we get pretty much to use the best resources, and we have all this weight that we get to do some pretty amazing stuff with. But that wasn't always the case, and for a long part of our history, it absolutely wasn't the case. And I used to have a lot more hair on my head, and I lost it all in the first 10 years before we got acquired by Dell, because we had to work our asses off. And we had to make some tough decisions, and we had to do things that, you know, you're probably going to have to do here in the next 20 to 24 hours with the challenges that are going to be taking on. But that's what business is like. It's a big hackathon. You know, I was going to tell you guys that I was recently at a hackathon where I participated. That was yesterday. That was the day before yesterday, the day before that day. And for the last 20 years or so since we've been doing this, it's been a hackathon. So, you know, sometimes you think, hey, the bigger the company is, yeah, you know, you get to plan things out, and you have more time than what you guys are going to have here over the next 20 hours. And that's sometimes the case. It's not always the case, I'll tell you. Shit pops up from one minute to the next, and you got to scramble and just figure it out. And what you guys are going to go through here, and the reason we're involved with MLH, is because this is like the best experience you can possibly get for what your careers are going to be like, in my opinion. These next 20 hours, if you take it seriously, if you find a team that's going to work with you, if you know, take on the challenge, you adapt, you overcome, you learn from it. Even if you don't win the competition, if you learn from it, you won, no matter what. Because we fail all the time. Some of you guys maybe have gone out there and called us out for failing on Facebook and YouTube. I'm sure of it. And that's fine, because if you actually pay attention and you don't just troll us and flame the hell out of us, you'll actually see that we listen, we learn, we adapt, and we try and get better and better and better. And that's why we've survived and thrived for 20 years. So those of you that fail over the next 20 hours, congratulations. The only one of you that can lose, the only ones of you that can lose, are the ones that walk away from this and don't learn anything. And that will be throughout your entire career. So that's the best advice I could possibly give you. So what are we doing? Well, let me give you a little bit more background as to why this is important and why we're here. So yeah, our logos are on the shirts and on the building and all that stuff, but why are we actually here? Well, we work for a guy, Michael Dell, who actually founded his company out of a dorm room. So this is very relevant for us. All right, you know the stories, right? Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, I mean, great companies were founded out of the environment that you guys are all living in right now. And we want to foster that because it's very relevant to us and because we know this is where great shit happens. Okay? When I joined Alex and Nelson to start Alienware, I was still in high school. And like I said, I didn't know shit. And I was 10 years younger than these guys. And we just figured it out. And we built the company that we built today. So None of that is out of the reach for anybody that's in this room. It's absolutely within your reach. You don't have to be smart, you don't have to be a genius, you don't have to have even an amazing idea. You could argue that Alienware is not an amazing idea. We just build a computer that plays games. Okay?
It's amazing, actually.
Thank you. The product is amazing, I agree with you. But it's not like this revolutionary, crazy idea that's never been done before. We're not building self-driving cars here, you know? But hired a good team, worked our asses off, and we were very passionate about what we did, and it's been working out for us. So what are we doing at MLH? So we've got an area that you guys can play with some Alienware gear, relax, take a break or two. Don't burn out, don't drink too many Red Bulls, take a break. And you guys can mess around with some Alienware hardware there. We've also got some hardware from both Dell and Alienware. If you want to actually do your dev work on it, you can check out some machines and do so. We've also got VR gear here. Last week we announced a deal that we're doing with Oculus. Palmer and I, if you know who Palmer is, the founder, announced that we're actually investing with Oculus and helping make Oculus rigs a little bit more affordable, the PC side of it, with their headset. So we brought some DK2s here, and we're actually going to do a contest. If anybody builds a VR experience, I'm going to participate in the judging of it along with the rest of the judges and Claudina, who runs our game partnerships for us. And the winner's going to get, what, John? What are they getting?
Brand new Alienware.
Brand new.
Alpha.
Yeah, brand new Alienware Alpha. So if you don't know what that is, it's our little console-like, badass, amazing product. And then, did I miss anything else? We've got the challenge. Oh, yeah, I got something else that's kind of fun. So tomorrow, I'm not going to tell you what game it is because then you guys will practice it tonight, and then I won't have the unfair advantage that I have right now. If you want to throw it down with me, I will play you a game on the Alienware Alpha and prove to you that I'm not some stiff corporate prick, that I actually can play some games. But you only get to play me once, because the second time you'll probably beat me. So the first time we'll play. And then we'll figure out some prize to give you, something that's worthwhile, if you beat me at the game, or even if you just play with me. So did I miss anything? Anything you want me to say? That's it? Hey, thanks to everybody that helped put this event together, especially the volunteers. Thank you very much. I know this is your first hackathon, right? So I hope this is the first of many. We're doing over 100 of these with MLH this year around the country. We're committed. We really believe in this stuff. So thank you to the volunteers. Thank you to the organizers. Thank you to MLH, John, and the staff over there. And all of you, thank you for giving this your time. It's a Friday night. You know, it's kind of late. It's way past my bedtime. I'm no man. So thank you very much for coming to this. Thank you for giving me your attention. I really appreciate it. If anybody has any questions for me, you're welcome to ask now. If you're shy and you just want to bombard me tomorrow, I'll be here most of the day tomorrow as well. I'll be walking around. Just pull me aside and ask me whatever the hell you want, or just bombard me right now. Go ahead.
So you said you know Palmer Lucky. Do you also know John Carmack?
I don't know John Carmack. He's way too smart to share a room with me. No, I mean, obviously, you know, Carmack and Id and everything, we were kind of all coming up at the same time, and Gabe I know pretty well because we did the whole Steam Machine project with him.
And do you know if Alienware is going to be working with Steam VR at all? Or is it just going to be only like an Oculus only partnership?
So if we've had a pretty rich history working with Valve, so we did the whole Steam Machine program with them. And we're not ready to announce anything today, but I will tell you that we will likely announce something with Valve and HTC sometime in the future. And we're open to working with any compelling VR experiences. The interesting thing about VR is, this is my observation, this is nobody else speaking, but while there's some competition going on between the companies, there's a lot of cooperation going on as well. We all kind of want to see this happen. And if we're trying to shoot each other down, even the headset guys and stuff, it's not going to happen. So when we talk to these guys, we don't do shit like, hey, if you work with us, you can't work with the competitor. We're not like, go work with them. Absolutely. Everybody wants to work together. This is the next big thing, in our opinion. We fully believe that. Obviously, the guys who are making head-mounted displays and content believe that as well. So it's very cooperative. It's a really cool place right now.
Is it kind of like refreshing right now? Because I know like a lot of like sometimes the hardware scene, like different things, like I mean like the graphics card market, it's kind of like, do your own thing and try to compete with me, but with VR, like you're saying, with the sharing. Like,
Yeah,
that's pretty common.
I'm sure in a certain number of years, we're all gonna hate each other and be, competing against each other, but right now, it's in a pretty cool place, so we're all kind of being friendly with one another. So it's pretty neat. So we're gonna work with any compelling VR headset that's out there. There's a lot of garbage that's out there, and there's a few compelling ones that are out there. So you'll see us work with most folks.
Awesome.
Yeah, in the back.
How do you think that building the newer developer editions of the XPS laptops and finally having SteamOS will maybe move Linux into a broader spectrum of the PCs that you sell?
Yeah, so let me talk about Steam machines for a minute if I can. When we started working on Steam machines, PC gaming on Windows was in a rough place. I think when you look at Microsoft and what they've done with Windows 10, they've recommitted to PC gamers. And that's great. Whether that was in response to our effort with Steam Machine or if it was a response to them finally waking up and realizing we should probably, invest in this category who's been very loyal to us. We're not entirely sure, but the bottom line is that we're getting a pretty good OS. We're getting DX12, and Microsoft's committed again to PC, and that's great. Steam Machine is it's a brand new ecosystem. We've got 1,500 or so games on there, right? It's more games than any brand new ecosystem pretty much has had in the last, at least that I can remember. Think about iOS, we had more games. We have more games on day one of Steam Machine than iOS did, than Android did, than PlayStation 1, than Xbox, the original one, because you can't call it Xbox One, it's confusing as hell. So I think we're off to a better start than any of those platforms. We got a long way to go, and Valve and us are still invested in doing so. When you look at what we're doing with the XPS 13 and the developer edition systems, it's pretty much us just listening to our customers. Folks have come to us and said, we want machines preloaded with Linux on them. Can you guys build some for us? We like Dell, for whatever reason, you got great support, or you got good financing, or good quality products, whatever the reason is. And we're really good at listening to our customers and responding to them. So that's pretty much it. If it's not I'm not going to tell you it's like a strategic initiative to go and compete against Windows. It has nothing to do with that. If you come to us and you tell us you want a gold XPS 13, I'll launch it for you at CES last week. If you want a red Alienware notebook, please go to Twitter and post that right now, because I want to see that launch, and I need you guys to all say that you want to see it launch. That's pretty much it. Other question? Yeah.
So startups come and go. What would you attribute your success to?
Yeah, the interesting thing about startups is you usually read about the ones that come, you don't read about the ones that go. And I guess that's good because it's inspiring, but try and find people that have gone and have failed and learn from them. That would be my advice. But what helped us be successful? There's two things we look for in our employees when we're recruiting people. Number one is passion. Number two is willingness to learn. Countless examples of where we went out and hired the best and the brightest for a particular position, failed miserably and didn't survive within our company. Plenty of examples where we hired dumbasses in high school that didn't know what the hell they were doing, but they were passionate as hell, willing to soak in and learn whatever they possibly could, and now that guy's running the company. Look for those people. Look for those people, and pick and choose the one or two kind of things you want your people to stand for and what you want them to be, and be consistent in that. The other thing is, when you've hired the wrong person, get rid of them quickly. Do not let them stick around. They will poison the rest of the team. They will drag the rest of you guys down, and the only one you're hurting is yourself and the rest of the people that have that passion and they just want to learn. So hire good people. If you make a mistake, and you will, get rid of them quickly. That's the best advice I can give you. If you get acquired, I need about an hour to talk to you about how you survive that. That's hard, but it's not impossible. I think he was first, yeah.
So Razer just announced like the Razer Core, which,
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? Like, do you guys think that has a large market for it, or like, do you think that's just something that more of a niche audience and
So the key thing about the Razer Core is that they're doing the same thing we did a year ago when we launched it at CES in 2015. So I think that's a great idea. So much so that we've been selling it for a year. I think that we have a different philosophy, Razer and us right now, around those small notebooks, 13-inch and below. They're doing a 12.5, we're doing a 13-inch. We built our products, all of our products, for gamers to play their games in every single setting in which they want to play their games. So our 13-inch notebook has a GTX 960 graphics card in there. It's overclockable, it's got all the performance features you'd like. It has a U-based processor, which some people have an issue with, but you can still play plenty of games with it. There's no game it doesn't play. Their notebook has integrated graphics. So you can't play when you move. You can only play when you're at home connected to the core, right? So I think that's compelling for some folks. We think our model is compelling for our folks. We'll see what happens. I mean, we don't really consider ourselves to be at war with Razer. They help inspire us to do better, and I think vice versa. And it's kind of it's a friendly competition, if you will.
I meant, or not in the computer part itself, but like just that idea of a graphics card enclosure.
Mhm.
Like, do you see that being a more popular thing for people just buying regular laptops that have, but they want a better graphics card
Yeah.
that they can use it?
We do. We saw this coming. I mean, we launched it a year ago, but we don't typically turn things around in months. I mean, usually when we decide to go do something, it takes us years to go do it and do it right. And even then, we don't always get it perfect. So we decided we launched it 3 years ago, that we think this is emerging. And technologies like PCI Express and Thunderbolt made this possible. So we made the investments we did, we created the product that we did. We made the decisions that we did for a lot of good reasons, what interface we used, why we used that interface, why we designed the box that we did, why we priced it the way we did, how we married it to the products that we married it to. All of those decisions were made. We launched it a year ago. And yeah, we think that's going to continue to emerge. Thin notebooks are in, right? Nobody wants to carry around all day with them a 15-pound notebook like the first gaming notebook we built. But at the same time, we think people want to carry some decent performance with them everywhere they go. So that's what we're building, is a balanced platform, and then the external graphics for when you're at home and you want to do some 4K, and eventually VR as well. It's going to be a while before you can get a decent VR notebook, real VR notebook. So you're going to kind of need those external graphics. Your question?
One more question?
Was Alienware your first company? And if not, why did those first companies fail?
It was our first company. The two partners that I joined, Alex and Nelson, I don't want to misrepresent. I don't think it was their first company. I know for a fact it wasn't, because those 2 years where we weren't called Alienware, we were called something else, which I'm not going to tell you.
You
Good.
want to offer beer after this?
Good. Because we often throw it out as a trivia question on contests and stuff, so I don't want to give the answer out too easily. You can consider that to be a failure to some extent. And the difference is that company just built PCs, and they were just trying to build PCs and make them cheap and sell them to anybody that would be willing to buy them. There wasn't really a niche, there wasn't really a reason to buy that product from that company, until we went out and said, well, here's something unique. No one's building this product. There's actually only one other company building that product, Falcon Northwest. They're still around, great company. There was only one other company that was building that then, and then it was us, and nobody really knew that we existed, and then PC gaming was kind of emerging at the same time. So why do I think we were successful, aside from the passion and the willingness to learn that we had and the hunger that we had to succeed? Timing was a really big factor. And in my observation of those that come and go, those startups that come and go, the one thing that I've seen that has really been like a common factor between successful companies and ones that fail, and this isn't always the case, and this is not my material, I stole this from a TED Talk, so in full disclosure, but it does make sense, and I've actually been thinking and researching it. It's really about timing. If you think about companies that were the first at doing something, but they were too early at doing it, they oftentimes fail. So I'll give you an example, because we lived it at Dell. Does anybody know who made the first 5-inch smartphone?
Dell did.
Dell did.
It was that weird
Who the hell would carry a huge, ridiculous 5-inch smartphone that looks like this when you're I mean, that's ridiculous, right? How many people have a 5-inch smartphone on in their pockets right now? We were too early, so timing drove it to fail, okay? I mean, there's just so many different examples. Would Airbnb have been as successful as it was if it didn't launch in the time that it launched, when people were actually struggling in the economy and they were house rich and cash poor, and they actually they needed a way to help monetize and build some income. So like, holy shit, I've got a house, I can rent out a room, and now I can start making some additional income. And here's an easy way to go do it. They weren't the first ones to actually go build that model. I mean, HomeAway, VRBO, those companies have been doing this for over a decade. But timing made perfect sense for them. So I think that we came in at a time when PC gaming was very young, very fragmented, and we were there at the perfect time. And if you look at a lot of the companies after us that have tried to compete against us, most of them have failed because the timing, they're too late. So you can be too early, you can be too late. Getting the right timing, I think, is the hardest thing to do and probably the largest success factor. Just my opinion and the guy on the TED Talk. All right.
Yeah. Cool. So, let's all say hi to John from MLH.
That's kind of a tough act to follow, having built a business for 20 years and having actual stuff to talk about. I'm just here to talk about hackathons, which haven't been around for 20 years, but are still pretty cool. So, welcome everyone to KnightHacks. Who's stoked to be here? Yeah! That was like kind of weak. Who's excited for KnightHacks? Yeah! Way better, thank you. Oh man. So I'm going to go over a lot of information in this. You can find all of it at bit.ly/KnightHacksMLH if you forget anything. But to start off, quick poll. Who here is at their first hackathon? Raise your hand. Woo! Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. That's amazing. You all the newbies here. Awesome. I think Frank's at his first hackathon too, right?
I was at one yesterday.
Oh, he was at one for 20 years. Sorry. So, I'm here from Major League Hacking, as Jonathan mentioned, and I'm one of the co-founders. I'm John Gottfried, and it's funny because before I went to hackathons, I was actually studying to be a history teacher. So, I have a history degree. It's only slightly more valuable in the economy than no degree, but you know, I do have a history degree, and I was studying to be a history teacher, and I went to my first hackathon, and I was amazed because I found this community of people who also love building things, and they love technology, and they were teaching themselves about all of this new stuff that was out there that no one really understood yet. And it opened up this whole world to me that I'd kind of been tinkering with for a while. But ultimately, because I found other people who love building and love the same things I did and were passionate about creating technology, it changed the course of my life and ultimately brought me to the place where I ended up starting MLH to help all of you find those same communities. So, you know, we're all here, as Frank said, to learn something this weekend, right? But, you know, learning something can be hard, and that's why you have all of these awesome mentors. So if any of you have problems, you can come find me. I'm happy to help debug anything on this list or not on this list, even PHP. Yeah, sorry. But, you know, this is something amazing that's going on here this weekend, right? You're all coming here, you're building something new, you're learning something, hopefully you're creating something that you care about, and you can do this every weekend of the semester. We have over 200 MLH events this coming year. If you go to mlh.io/events, there's a lot of other events in Florida. I know a lot of you are from Georgia, there's great events there. You can go to many more hackathons and meet more amazing people, just like the people in this room. And by going to all of these events, you actually earn points for your school. So MLH isn't just a hackathon community, we're also the Student Hackathon League, and we help decide which hacker community is the most vibrant this year, right? And it's really interesting because the top hacker community is rarely the top CS school, right? the people who are going out and building things and learning on their own and motivated and going to hackathons, you know, they're doing things that are really, really unique and not necessarily taught to them in the classroom. And the rankings are a reflection of this. So I definitely encourage you to go. The best way to earn points for your school, honestly, is to bring a friend to a hackathon. Like, just bring a friend, bring someone new, open them up to this community. So we're able to support this community. We're able to help all of you learn here today with the support of our awesome sponsors, Dell and Intel. Yay! Woo! And because of Dell and Intel, we're actually able to give you some great prizes. Now, prizes are interesting because they're actually the way that we kind of recognize people for doing extraordinary things, right? It's not like a competition in the sense that, you know, you're trying to like beat each other down. It's a collaborative competition, but we want to recognize the people who do something really outside of the ordinary and outside of the box. So we give prizes at hackathons. Every winner is going to get a medal, but the third place winner is also going to get these awesome Alienware backpacks. Second place winner is going to get these sick Dell tablets, and the first place winner is going to get Steam machines. So if you're a gamer or you want to develop on Oculus, you'll get Steam machines. You also get some nice medals.
But Oculus doesn't support Linux, so you can't develop on it.
It's a Windows Steam machine. Bam! We're also going to give a prize for the best VR hack. So if you want to develop some VR stuff, you can loan out an Oculus DJ2. So what are we doing here this weekend? We're here to help you learn, build, and share awesome hacks, right? All of you are here. Hopefully you'll learn something this weekend. Hopefully you'll learn something this weekend. Hopefully you'll build something that works, and hopefully you'll be able to share it with your friends. But we also brought you tons of cool stuff. So we're not just here to help you learn, build, and share. We're also here to make sure you have an awesome weekend. So we have an Alienware Gaming Lounge where you can go kick Frank's ass. We have a Dell Tower Challenge. Now, if none of you have done this before, it sounds super silly, but it's actually a lot of fun. We literally just stack solo cups as tall as possible in as short a time as possible, and then kick them over. Tomorrow we're going to have an ice cream sundae bar. Woo! And we have the hardware lab. Who here knows about the MLH hardware lab? Okay, great. I can teach you all about it. So we have 3 next generation hardware that you can loan out for the weekend to hack on. So all those cool things you read about at CES, we have them here for you to hack on. We have Nest thermostats. So if you want to build some smart home hacks, head on over to Nest, check it out. We'll let you build some awesome stuff. We have Intel Edison. This is a Wi-Fi enabled kind of smart like mini computer. So it's like a Raspberry Pi and an Arduino combined. So you can run Linux on it. It has Arduino on it. It has GPIO pins. You can put Arduino shields on it. It's super cool. We have a lot of sensors that plug into it. We have Pebble smartwatches. We have Oculus DK2s. We have laptops. We have monitors. We have more laptops. And we have all this other great hardware. Leap Motions, Muses, Mayos, Arduino Spark Cords. Everything you could ever want. It's going to be great. But if hardware isn't your thing, we also have software. You can go get more free stuff from GitHub at education.github.com. We will give you $100. Who here knows what AWS is? A lot of people. That's great. AWS basically hosts the internet, right? Reddit's on AWS, and a lot of other sites that aren't as cool as Reddit also use AWS. You get $100 credit just by going to that link, bit.ly/AWS-MLH. Best use of AWS wins what I like to call offline S3. It's a portable hard drive. That's a joke. You can also get free domain names for your hack so people outside of the event can access them. Free.com, .net, or .org domain names at mlh.io/domains. Take one of those cards you got at registration and redeem the code and you get a free domain name. We'll also give out a prize for the best domain name that is not a box of puppies, but is equally cool. I think it's an Arduino. Not only that, but we have some great t-shirts for you. Who has an MLH season t-shirt from last year, the gold ones? They're pretty sick, right? Yeah, okay, they're great. We also have new ones for you with a GIF. Whoa, cool. Okay, hopefully you're all excited about all that awesome stuff. So onto a more serious note, though. By coming to this event, by coming to any MLH event, you're abiding by the code of conduct, right? And the code of conduct is what makes this a safe and welcoming space for everyone. These hackathons are a safe space for everyone who participates. The TLDR is, be respectful. Harassment and abuse are never tolerated at MLH events, and I definitely expect all of you to be as kind and as caring and as empathetic as possible to your fellow hackers. If anything does make you uncomfortable, if anything does happen, you can email into incidents@mlh.io or call this phone number, or find me or one of the organizers, and we'll be happy to address it and make sure that whatever the situation is handled properly. If you want to read more about the code of conduct, go to mlh.io/code of conduct. So hopefully you all have an amazing weekend this weekend. Challenges are ultimately like what make these hackathons a powerful experience. Hopefully you get some sleep. Hopefully you build something cool. Find us on Facebook at fb.com/Major League Hacking or on Twitter at MLHacks. And happy hacking, everyone. Find all this info here at bit.ly/KnightHacksMLH. Give yourselves a round of applause. They're going to have a great weekend. Cool. Back to you.
Awesome.
From John to John.
Cool.
Maybe you get your presentation up?
Yeah. So that.
Oh, wow.
Totally seamless slide
Sort of.
transitions. There you go. Cool. So, I'd like to talk a little bit about people making this event happen. So, our sponsors. So, first up, Alienware and Major League Hacking. So, let's give them a round of applause. Then we have ViewPost. Let's give them a round of applause. Siemens. Google. Deloitte. Code School. And everyone else who contributed in some way. I'm serious. No, we are very grateful for everyone and for all of you as well for making this event happen, making it worthwhile. So give yourselves a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. Cool. So a couple of things real quick. At KnightHacks.org, you'll find our schedule. So if you're wondering, when am I going to get food? It's up there. If you're wondering, when are cool things happening? It's up there. If you want to know a little bit more about our prizes, they're also up there. So in addition to what John said, we've also got a couple of little subcategories for, where are my newbie hackers? First hackathon, raise your hand. So you guys are all specially qualified for a unique prize, just because we want to encourage new hackers to come to hackathons. So, there's a special prize tier for that. There's a special prize tier for educational hacks, because we want to, give people a framework to work with. We created a theme to try to improve the educational experience in some way. And so, to incentivize people to make hacks that are somewhat educational, well, you can work on anything else under the sun that is legal. We do have a prize tier for the best educational hack. And what else am I forgetting? It's been a long day. Oh, obviously best hardware. And most ridiculous. So info about that is up on KnightHacks.org, and we'll be updating that in case anything's out of sync. We've also got the FAQ in case you need to go over that. We are also experimenting with crowdsourced music. This may be a terrible idea, but we're going to do it. So if you go to KnightHacks.org/music, you will be directed to a list. That list allows you to input any song that is on Spotify, and that song will be entered into a queue, and you can upvote, and it will be played. So, in all seriousness, obviously there's a lot of people in this room who are going to be subjected to whatever you play. So, keep it reasonable. Don't torture everyone because you'll, golden rule, do unto others as you like to listen to yourself. if you need help at any point with anything during the hackathon, people with yellow lanyards or volunteers and staff and other related people. So flag down a yellow lanyard or message on Slack. So we have a Slack for this particular event night. If you are not on said Slack, flag down some of the yellow lanyard. You can email the team at KnightHacks email account, or there's a couple of people from Hack at UCF here, and you can ask them. They also have yellow lanyards. Unfortunately, Slack is requiring us to manually invite people because we don't have all of your email address domains. So just let us know. We'll be sending out those emails, and we super encourage you guys to get on there. We've got a bunch of different channels for help with JavaScript, Arduino, PHP, and anything else. There's a chat channel, stuff like that. So, did I cover all that, Ivy? Slack? Anything else you need? She's got a very serious look on her face. Let's give her a second.
No.
All right, we're good. Cool. So, again, join the Slack. If you need to find an organizer, specifically someone who organized KnightHacks, look for the glow sticks, okay? That's how we're identifying in case you need to, come across, for whatever reason. All right, Wi-Fi, very important to everyone, obviously. So, what?
You're in the way.
Oh, I'm in the way. Okay, where should I go?
Way to the side.
Way to the side. All right. I'm probably not on the camera anymore, but Wi-Fi, obviously very important. If you are a UCF student, UCF WPA2, you know how to use it. If you are not a UCF student, you can try your luck with UCF Guest. That was a joke for the UCF students, but you can try it. It will probably connect. And you can also use the special SSID KnightHacks with the password MakeCoolStuff. Okay?
Take a picture of this.
Yeah. Or
It's on the Slack too.
yeah, it's on the Slack. So
I have to
another.
have internet.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Yeah. So, but if you ever forget that, just flag someone down with the yellow lanyard. They'll help you out. We'd like to thank Hack at UCF for very graciously helping put together that Wi-Fi experience for non-UCF students. Let's give a round of applause for Hack at UCF. Perhaps an important clarification for the non-UCF students. Hack at UCF is our cyber defense club, right? But security club. Did someone want to just explain it? That's fine. No, okay, that's fine. They're our security club on campus, and they've very graciously helped with doing a lot of networking work for us. So we're very happy about that. When you're on the Wi-Fi, a couple of manners. Netflix, please don't do that. There's not a whole lot. You can chill at home, all right? You can chill in the mentor lounge. So obviously Netflix slows things down. Also, when you're sitting on your computer and you're thinking, wow, this internet's slow, don't go to speed test and figure out just how slow it is. Because for obvious reasons, that takes up all the bandwidth. So
we can ping everybody.
yeah, so just a couple of ground rules about the Wi-Fi. And real quick, obvious housekeeping rules. Keep the venue clean. The wonderful people at Engineering 2 have let us use this space, and we would like that to continue to be a possibility in the future. So help keep it clean. Do not move any furniture, and do not remove anything. If you see anything, don't take it, all right? If you like a chair, don't take it. If you like a computer, don't take it, all right? But especially, there's a room, I think we're using it as a gaming lounge. There's a room that has a bunch of cool lights in it. Don't remove anything from that room, even if you're just bringing it elsewhere in the atrium. Yeah, there are signs on the door that explain it, but just keep that in mind. Attack! First, Ivy would like to say a few things. This is Ivy. You're just talking to it.
Okay, so I've lost my voice apparently, but I had some things to say. One, we never talked about the team sizes. You can have up to a size of 4 for teams. In addition, you can have a size, you can have teams smaller than that, but we do have criteria on the judging sheet for teamwork. So it is highly recommended that you join a team. You don't have to, you can still win a prize without one, but you get bonus points for being on a team. What else?
So,
Oh,
team of two is fine.
Yeah, team of two is, sorry, what?
Where do you submit hacks?
We have a dev post account for hacks. We'll put that on the website. It's not on it right now, but we'll put it on there. There was something.
Let's all hum the Jeopardy like music.
No, don't do that. Oh my gosh, now I can't do that all.
Sentinel hacks.
Oh, the Idea Lab is also. Okay, so the Idea Lab outside with all the pretty lights, that's also the Mentor Lounge and the Gaming Lounge. So MLH will be setting up the Gaming Lounge in there, and we also, I brought my Wii U so you guys can play like Smash and stuff if you need a break from things. Please do not take anything from it. I really want my Wii U back and all my controllers and all my games and all my amiibo, so don't take it. And I'm sure MLH wants their stuff back as well. The hardware lab will be manned by some attendees. You can all go there once we start hacking, and you can get hardware. So we are not actually starting hacking until 11. That's 30 minutes from now. So we'd like to do some icebreakers outside. And there are also going to be some workshops throughout the night. We will announce these using the microphone, so just pay attention to any announcements. I think that's all, so just, be respectful. Oh, Google has brought cardboards, and they're going to be handing some out to you.
Not as exciting as an Oculus.
But it's VR.
500 times cheaper.
It is 500.
Alienware wants to match me by giving you 50.
So we'll announce that. They're going to be doing it at 11 when we start hacking, but we'll let you guys know. So just pay attention to any announcements. If you need anything, come to the people with the yellow lanyards, and especially the people with the glow sticks, because that's us. We know everything. So yeah, just be respectful and have fun. And if you don't know anyone, you don't have a project, that's fine. Come to us, and we'll help you.
Okay. Cool. All right, so real quick. I'm going to try an experiment with ice breaking to encourage y'all to find someone and talk to someone. So you may notice on your badge, assuming we found yours.
Oh yeah, if you haven't been checked in yet, go to the registration table and we'll check you in. If you don't have a badge, also come to the registration table and we'll find it or make you a new one.
Cool. So on your badge, there should be an ID. My ID is literally the letter D. Okay, that's 13 in hex for trivia. So if you go to KnightHacks.org/icebreaker on your computer or your phone, it'll ask you to input the ID on your badge. You can then go to anyone else who has a badge with an ID on it and enter their ID. This will give you an entry into a raffle. You can get one entry into the raffle for every person you meet. So obviously, the more people who fill this out, the lower your chances are. So you should only give your ID to people who actually, talk to you and introduce you and ask you questions and stuff. So the idea of this is really just find someone